why do you think it's so important to build trust when you are a leader?
It's the first thing that leaders need to do, right? Because when you come into an organization or get promoted, no one knows you. And so if you don't have trust, no one's going to buy into your vision. Culture's going to suffer. And so trust, I think, is the first step to actually develop. Otherwise, it's going to be a hard road as a leader.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Especially if a leader tells you or asks you to do something that's kind of challenging, and then they say, but I'm telling you, or I'm asking you to do this because it's going to be good in the long run. You have to really believe and be invested in that they are invested in you as well to go with that proposal, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And it's one thing to like say, yes, I'll do it, but the other thing to buy into it wholeheartedly from the inside as well. So what do you think are some of the common problems that people experience as leaders when it comes to building trust? Like, what are some of the obstacles?
I think from a leader's point, some of the obstacles are they don't communicate effectively, they're distant, and so they don't connect with their people, they don't get to know them, they kind of shut themselves in their office because they're the leader, they've got the title, they've got the office, and so they actually don't engage as well. Probably the biggest problems. So
you reckon approachability is like really key when it comes to being a good leader as well?
Really important to be approachable.
And available.
Yeah. You've got to connect.
Well, those are a couple of the problems. So let's talk about leadership, because sometimes people find themselves in leadership not by accident, but, by appointment. They've been promoted and they've accepted that promotion, and then they've got colleagues who are like, hang on a minute, 1 minute we were working side by side, shoulder to shoulder, next minute you're my boss. That can be quite challenging, can't it?
Really challenging, yeah. And we often talk about different levels of leadership. And number one is the position or authority. I have the position because I have the title on the wall, but that doesn't make you a leader, right? And I think some of the challenge we have with organisations is we do promote that person, but we don't give them any skills to actually do that role, because they were great at what they do. And leadership's a completely different skill set. And we're poor as organisations of training our people. It happened to me when I got promoted years ago. Got promoted to a role and I had no idea. My boss it was almost like he ghosted me.
Yeah, well, I can imagine it's one thing to do radio, like to be a radio announcer, but I wouldn't have a clue how to manage a radio team. Like, it's a completely different thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. And it's interesting because we find a lot of people think, a CEO, they need to know about the organisation. Well, they don't really. They need to know how to lead people, right? And so we look at around the world, a lot of CEOs don't necessarily know the intricate stuff of the organisation, but they do know how to lead people.
And they also know how to equip and trust people who know those details to do their job and encourage them in the right way, right?
Yeah. Yeah, leaders' job is to surround themselves with the experts.
Yeah, not to be the expert.
They don't have to know everything. And
can you imagine if the CEO was trying to fix everything? Like, there's a broken pipe downstairs. Put the CEO onto it.
Yeah. Well, and that's the other thing that breaks trust, right? Because if he's doing everything, what he's actually saying to his team is people say, actually, I don't trust you to do it. So I'm going to do it myself.
Yeah, that's
interesting.
So
we've actually got to let go everything and empower our people to do what they need to do. I think trust is not earned. Often people say, they have to earn my trust. I think we have to give trust or give opportunity for people to trust before it can be earned.
Well, let's say you are someone that has found yourself in leadership. Let's say you were a great teacher, primary school teacher, and all of a sudden you're the principal and you're feeling kind of a little bit overwhelmed, like you're not really sure if you do have the trust of the people that you're managing. Where's a good place to start with improving the situation?
I think everyone should start with meeting with their direct reports regularly, like every week. Sit down with them one-on-one for 5 minutes and find out how you're doing. Get to know them, find out what they're working on, and then how you can help them. Is there any resource that I can give to you to help you do your job better? So actually, one-on-ones are really, really important.
Do you have a specific moment where you can remember you had like a bit of a breakthrough in this area personally? Because you did talk about before how you found yourself in a situation where you were like, I'm not equipped for this. And then you realized that you hadn't really been trained in the way to lead. Do you have a moment where you were like, this is a light bulb moment for me?
Not till later in life. I did a lot of coaching of rugby, and I think I learnt more about leadership coaching rugby than I did when I was in the corporate world.
Interesting.
And so, I learnt that I wasn't there just to tell them what to do to develop their skill sets, but I actually had to get to know the players, find out what their motivations were, and they were all different, and I couldn't treat them all the same. And so probably rugby was the place where I learnt that and had those aha moments that, this is what it's about.
Yeah, it's a team sport, right? Every company is a team sport. Like, you're only as strong as your weakest player.
Absolutely, right? And often, like sport, and I kind of bring some of these analogies into my coaching, we all have players that have different roles. And sometimes we have people in our team that are in the wrong role, right? They're in the wrong position.
Interesting.
And so sometimes it's not necessarily they're a bad employee, but they're doing the wrong job. And so sometimes we need to shift them sideways.
And it's having the skills to actually see that, right?
Yep.
Call that out and then go, how can we strategically make this happen without, upsetting the apple cart?
Yeah. And because we all have different strengths, right? And I think it's also part of being a great leader is helping your team lean into their strengths. And if someone's not great at a particular role, there'll be someone else in your team that is. So maybe a bit more job sharing and letting them do this particular admin task, let's say, because you are fantastic at that, so let's give this to Susie.
Yeah.
And let people focus on their strengths a little bit more and work out how you can leverage their weaknesses.
Wonderful. Well, this is quite a complex topic, and I imagine there are a lot of people that would love to learn more about this and get some wisdom. So you have a leadership summit happening on the 16th of October at North Harbour Stadium. So if people would like to go along to that, or perhaps even just get some more one-on-one help, where can people go?
They can go to our website, Live2Lead.nz. So that's the number 2, Live2Lead.nz, and you can find out more information. We've got some amazing speakers streaming in from the States. John Maxwell, who a lot of people know, Craig Groeschel. I've had a sneak peek at their content, and look, it'll blow you away. They are just next level. And so got a great local panel of speakers, local leaders. They're going to share their insights as well. So if you want to learn about leadership, learn about how to influence people more effectively, then come and check it out.
Hey, thank you so much for joining us as part of the Rhema whānau. We really appreciate your company. And if you'd like to check out more stories like that one, just click here.
In fact, our channel has a whole bunch just like this, stories that can encourage you and inspire you and make you more aware of what other people's lives are like in Aotearoa and around the world. So maybe you could subscribe right here.